Okay, so now we're going to get to know Queenie, which is going to be interesting because Willow's in here with us. Oh, Queenie, look out, baby. So Willow's in here with us, of course, and Queenie wants this pouch that I have on my waist because she knows that's where I have the treats. And Queenie is, I'm not even going to call her food motivated. She's just flat out obsessed. I don't think it's food aggression so much as it is food anxiety. Queenie was accidentally bred, thank you, Bill, about a year and a half before she should have been if it were being done intentionally and responsibly. Which means that Bill and Queenie ended up being, she's trying to mug me. Bill and Queenie ended up kind of being teenage parents when they had baby Whipper. But of course, baby Whipper is adorable, and Miss Queenie here did a lovely job as a mom for Whipper. And she's been doing a wonderful job with Miss Willow. Yep, not only giving us nice, healthy babies, but also taking care of them, keeping them fed, teaching them some herd manners. Yep, she does a pretty good job with it. I don't know if it'll make it better or worse if I give her one. But she's definitely after it. Now, Queenie will let me put anything on her, any halter, any lead, any costume. She's not picky about that, but she is very transactional. Most donkeys are very transactional. They'll trade you this for that. She keeps trying to convince me that her halter doesn't fit. And of course, it fits just fine. That's just her way of trying to guilt me into getting into the pouch over here. But she is walking around nicely. But one of the things that we're going to try to work on with Queenie that'll be much easier once Willow is all weaned and not right underfoot constantly is stopping and waiting and showing patience. She has a hard time with that, but she got pregnant with Whipper before she was even done growing, so her body was still trying to finish growing while she was growing a little one. And then she no sooner had Whipper than she turned right around and was pregnant again with Willow. And so Whipper and Willow are a whole 364 days apart, which means while she was still trying to finish growing herself, she was nursing one baby and growing a second one. So you can see where she would end up a little bit anxious about food and feeding and everything having to do with her nourishment, making sure she gets enough. This girl just has a hard time getting full, but she stays looking pretty nice. She's a little dirty right now. I didn't think to brush her before we started talking about her. So Queenie is just a tad younger than Bill. Bill was born in July. Queenie's a few months younger. So we have her birthday figured somewhere around the beginning of September. So we gave her September 5th is the day that we celebrate for Queenie's birthday. So she is almost 3.5. And she is determined to stay right on top of me in case I drop a treat. But she's 3.5. This is her 4th home. And she's been here now about 14 months. Yep. So she gets a lot more attached to food than she does people. She is definitely the more outgoing of the two, of Bill and Queenie. Definitely more outgoing. Aren't you, Miss Thing? Yes, you are. Very outgoing, but she doesn't play much. I think she kind of didn't get a chance really to get to that part of life where she played a lot. So we're hoping that once Willow gets weaned, that Miss Queenie here will learn how to play. And I think Whipper and Willow will probably do a lot towards teaching her how to do that. So Queenie's name has not always been Queenie. When I got Bill and Queenie, her name was Bailey. So it was Bill and Bailey. Oddly enough, not after the song. But it didn't take us very long to realize that this lady was running things. She was in charge. And so we talked about several different names, Duchess and a few other things, but we settled on Queenie, and it seems to fit because she certainly is a special one. So Queenie likes having her hooves done. Not loves it, but likes it, which we try to make it a spa day. They get treats on the day that the farrier's here that they don't get any other time. Yep, extra special berries and things like that they really like, and we just kind of make a spa day out of it. She's pretty agreeable with any of things like that. She does pretty well most of the time. She's really not, she doesn't get fussy. She has kicked me once though, oddly enough. Yeah, you did. You did. It was when Willow was just a couple days old, and I was petting on Willow, and then I was trying to get some caked on dirt off of Willow, and it took 2 or 3 times to get it, and Willow was pulling away from me because I was trying to hold her still to get it. And just as I got the last bit of it, I let go, and Willow had been leaning against me apparently, and so Willow fell over. So Queenie came around and gave me a little nudge, very, very gentle, but enough to say, hey, be careful with my baby. Isn't that right, Queenie? Isn't that right, Mama? Yes, she did. So Queenie gets a few nicknames like everybody else does. Call her Queenie, Queenie Beanie, Mama, Queenie Bean, all kinds of different things. Isn't that right? And she gave me the coolest thing ever, which is right over there. That little fluff thing. I told Queenie that we already had a little boy. We had Whipper that looks just like Queenie. And it would be so cool to have a little girl that looked just like her daddy, Bill. And then I was getting ready to go on a business trip. So I told Queenie one more thing. Don't have her this weekend. So she said, okay. So she had her the very next morning, one day before I had to leave. So I got to see baby Willow, and then I had to leave the very next day, which was rough. But she did give us a baby girl. She didn't have her that weekend. Now, we kind of missed on her looking like her daddy, but just to prove that Queenie has a sense of humor, Miss Willow does have that one little, if she'll look up here, white spot. Don't eat the phone, Queenie. She has that one little white spot there on her forehead, and that's as much of her daddy as she got on the looks department, right? And don't run the baby over. You're thinking about the treats, huh? Okay. Can you think of anything else? Anything else we should tell people you like or you don't like? You think we got it all covered? Now, the good news is, although this might be Queenie's 4th home, I really, really, really hope this is going to be her last home. I'm going to do everything I can to try to outlive these guys so that they can stay here and be together like a family for the whole rest of their lives, which for them will seem like forever. Right, Miss Queenie? Okay. Let's get you one more of these, and then we're going to go put the treat pouch outside so I can clean up in here without you pestering me, okay? All right. Now show everybody how pretty you are. There you are. You are gorgeous, aren't you? All right. Love you, sweet girl.